Konnichiwa everyone, it's Dan from JaDan.co.uk and today I'm talking all about grammar for JLPT N5. Cheers for finding my video everyone, I appreciate that. So today's video is all about grammar for JLPT N5 and how I actually study it. So in the last video I said vocabulary is the most important thing when studying a new language. And that's true, but just because you've learnt some vocabulary, you can't just throw that at somebody and be like, that were a good conversation, pat on back. No, words don't equal conversation. You're going to need to make a sentence. And in order to make a sentence, you need to tie some words together with something called grammar. So that's why I'm going to study grammar as the second point on my JLPT quest. In terms of like studying Japanese grammar, it's quite difficult. When I'm studying vocabulary, I've got a word in Japanese and that means this word in English, and that's quite easy to study. I can just read it. Fine. Grammar is a bit different. It's a bit of an abstract concept. Like, you can't just read it and be like, I understand. You need to use it. It's situation dependent and it's not something that you can just learn overnight. You need to really study it and really use it. Especially Japanese grammar, because it's very different to English grammar and it don't really correlate to what I already know. So it's not easy. But today's question is, how do you study grammar? Have you got any cool like study tips? Comment section below. Let a bro know. I'd really like to hear from you. So, the JLPT N5 test has basically 124 different grammatical patterns. They're not guaranteed to be on the test, but they expect in that range, that's what they'll use for the test itself. So what I did, bought a notebook. Maybe if you've seen previous video, you spotted a pattern, and I called it Grammar N5. It's cerebral, I know. And what I did is I went on to a website, Wikibooks, and they've got a JLPT guide, and they've listed all the different grammatical patterns that are probably going to appear on the test with example sentences. And I wrote all them down just to get my head around what's going on. Pretty easy. And it seemed pretty easy. There are only like 30 odd on that website. But having gone about looking into it a bit further, there's a lot more. So I went out and I bought this. This was recommended to me by a lot of people. It's Try N5 for the Japanese language proficiency test. And this is in the comment section, no, in the description box below. There's a link to this if you want to get hold of it for yourself. But yeah, it's basically lessons. I think there is quite a lot of lessons in here, to be fair, and I think there's 7 lessons and each one's got like 5 or 6 grammar points in there, and there's like a practice section and there's a listening section with a CD, and you know, it's pretty comprehensive. And there's also like practice tests, and the questions in the practice mirrors the actual JLPT test, so you can get used to the layout of the questions and what kind of questions you can expect. As you can see at the back, there's like a full test. So what I've been doing is every day studying like a couple of pages, and basically in this notebook just writing down, you know, you can see chapter 1 green, writing down everything and doing the questions and the test, and just basically building up a library of grammar. I'll be honest, a lot of the grammar in here I already know, but it's good to go back and brush up on it, and it's quite nice to do the questions and, you know, understand how the questions are going to look on the test, so that's good. And the final thing I use to study grammar is this book, which I've looked at a couple of times, you know, Nihongo Go 100 like 500 questions. We've been through it before, but each page has got 3 questions. You've got the kanji, the vocabulary, and the grammar at the bottom. And the grammar section at the bottom has a sentence with a gap, and you need to choose the correct word to go in the gap. So this one, number 66, mush mush, mush mush, yoku nani nani desu ka. So it's going to be like, I can't hear you. And you've got 4 choices, and then what you do on the next page, you go through, and it'll give you the correct answer, and a breakdown of all the words and things like that to watch out for. And it's really useful. Each day, you get a few questions, and then at the end of the week, on day 7, there's a review test. And it's a really good way to kind of consolidate what I'm learning. It is JLPT N4 and N5 level, so some of it's a bit above what I require, but it's really good book. And once again, description box below if you want to get hold of this book. Good on you. So that is how I study grammar, as well as obviously trying to use everything I've learned in conversations or writing. I guess if you want to write something down like a diary would be pretty good too. But that is how I study, so you know, it is what it is. But that's it for today's video. So, as always, until next time. JaDan!